Alright, so we're going to start working on collision. Collision is going to be a bit of a two-parter because um, the initial collision is not too bad. So if we're taking this player and we basically want this player to collide with one of these things and have it react and show or do something, that's actually not too different from normal. However, if we want to have these players' bullets collide with the enemies, that's slightly different because we've got an array of bullets trying to detect if it's hit. So one of the bullets in the array is trying to detect if it's hit one of the enemies in the enemy array, and so you've got arrays of the arrays kind of coming together. So that becomes a little bit more complicated. Right, so if we want to know if basically the player's been hit, which is, okay, player, have you hit the enemy? Is not the easiest way to do it. So if we say to the enemy, because we're doing, if we go to the main one here, right, we're getting the enemies for each function looping through each enemy, we can then basically detect a collision, right? So let's go to enemy. We might as well chuck it inside the enemy move. I could make an enemy collision thing here as well. I could make a separate function, right? So I could make a hit. If we really want, doesn't really make much of a difference. So what we're trying to say is the usual. If the enemy's xpos plus the enemy's width is greater than the player dot xpos, okay, so that is trying to say if the edge of the enemy, the far edge, so this, if this black box would say the enemy, right? If we're trying to say this far right hand edge, because if we say enemy xpos, that's this side, and we go plus the size, that side, is now going to be hitting on that edge. And this dot x is less than, so we're saying this edge is less than the side of the player edge, which is player dot x plus player dot width. And then we need to repeat the same for the height as well. So, and this dot y plus this dot height is greater than, so this dot y plus the width, the height, so the bottom edge is further down, greater than the top edge of the player dot y, and this dot y is less than, so this top edge of your enemy is further up the page than the bottom edge of your player. It's player dot y is the top edge of it, plus player dot height is the bottom edge of it, then player dot x is equal to 0. Right, so if I run this now fresh, can move, dodging. This hit function hasn't been called, that's why. Silly me. Right, so enemy dot hit function now. Let's rerun this. I'm dodging, get hit, and I jump across. Hit, jump across. So you can see there I'm teleporting across, so you can see there you've got a collision, you've got a reaction, you've got it working, you've got it connected. Like I said, this bit of code here could have very easily just been sat in here in the same enemy move, but if we want to be a little bit more structuring and separating out different bits and pieces so we know what things are for, so we can say for enemy type stuff for commenting, then that's a slightly nicer way to do it. Doesn't really affect anything in the grand scheme of things, but there you go. So that is doing a collision. So basically pulling player now. Sorry, I should explain this. Why we're calling player.x. So in here, the class is called player with a capital P. I always start my class with a capital. However, in here, you will notice when we create player and we're using the class, it's actually called player, and then we're using this XPath. So effectively, the new variable called player holds all the actual information against the class of player. So, and a good way to check stuff if you want to, I'll just turn the console log off. I know, sorry, let me just get rid of this. If I go player.x, there you go, 0. But player, when I hit it, you can see these are all the things that's passed in. So you've got x, so player.x, player.y, player.w, h, c, as the list goes on. If I press it down, I've got x speed, y speed. So there you go. So those are, yeah, you just do player dot. And so to get things out of the enemy, if it was loaded as a normal enemy, enemy.x, but because enemy.x has been pushed into an enemies array, there we go. Job done.